FCA had its origin in the establishment of the local security forces, which was known as the LSF. On the 28th of May 1940, the force was created. By mid-June 1940, up to 45,000 members had been enrolled. We had, of course, to divide the LSF into two groups, known as the A group, to act as an auxiliary to the army, and the B group, which was to continue as an auxiliary police force. Now, by the end of 1940, the army had more or less completed its expansion to a war footing and was in a position to take over command of the A group, which it did on the 1st of January 1941 under the new title of the Local Defence Force. Now, following the end of the war, all reserve forces were disestablished and were replaced by two components of a reserve defence force, one being the first line reserve, the other classed as the second line and is known as the FCA as it is today. The main aims of the FCA is a backup to the permanent defence force and to provide military security at local level. This they do very significantly and are constantly there as a very important and significant component to the permanent defence force and to assist them, particularly at local level, in the very many duties that are allocated to them from time to time.
Point, point. Allez! Sus! Reneg! Adam!
Hey, no tree! Hey, no tree! Hey!
Well, the FCA at home seems just to be a chance for the lads to get the boys of the town to get into kind of an organisation.
Back up for the army and get free clothes.
What do you think of the FCA?
That's football, is it?
They're known as weekend soldiers.
This is the army? Well, I think they're a great bunch of boys, but that's all I know.
Just say!
It keeps young people occupied and are healthy, keeps them away from drugs and keeps them fit.
Basically, they're just ordinary people who, if they're called upon, they can act as soldiers.
Win, Ara! Fennick! Ara!
The reserve force fulfills the role, as I say, of having a pool of reasonably well-trained people that can quickly be brought to the correct standard in wartime with a short period of intensive training. The FCA are dependent on the PDF. They're dependent on them for training, they're dependent on them for administration, for logistics, for communications. And they get that with good cooperation and good grace from the PDF. Because equally, the PDF appreciate that they are dependent on the FCA, certainly in times of need when there would be a requirement to bring the numbers up rapidly. The FCA is the only pool that they have, and those of us in the regular army, permanent defence force, who know the FCA, we realise how dependent we are on them. So for that reason, as I say, it is fair to say that there's a real appreciation by each force of the other force.
Now, your section NCOs will get their instructions from the two training sergeants here. There'll be one on each side of the bridge. Your sections will be split so that there'll be one section on each side of the bridge. They will work directly under the training sergeant. Your NCOs
at the present time, understandably, we're working under great financial restrictions. The 2-week annual training camp, which was barely adequate, has been reduced to 1 week. There is a restriction on recruiting. We have overcome the reduction of the 2 weeks to 1 week by the enthusiasm of the FCA and their commitment giving more time in their weekends and in their nightly training periods. We can't compensate for the restriction on recruitment, and that is a great pity because there's a ready pool of people. There are waiting lists in practically every unit we have of young men that are anxious to join the FCA.
There's a lot of variety in the FCA, and they have an engineering section. I was interested in engineering. The engineering section, we have a lot of outdoor activities consisting of bridge building, which is going on behind us at the moment. We do mine warfare, explosives, and we do a bit of firefighting drill, which is most exciting. The FCA is good discipline. It teaches people good discipline and basic drilling in the army.
Senior Petty Officer Murphy's my name. I'm in the Slough 7 years. When I'm in Cottlebur Barracks, my job is to sign up new recruits, take them through the different procedures before they're actually sworn in. When I'm on board Ashling, my task is to look after kit, food and equipment on board ship.
This is a 40mm Beaufort gun. It's anti-aircraft. It takes 3 minutes to fire it. Number 1 is the captain of the gun. Number 2 is the loader. And number 3 is the ammunition supply number. Number 2 takes the ammunition out of the letterbox and drops it into the autoloader. Your gun then is ready for firing. It fires 120 rounds per minute of 40mm ammunition. Right?
My name's A.B. O'Rourke, that's Abel Seaman, and I'm in the Slough Marine now, about 4 years. I basically joined to get navigational skills. When we're at sea, I do general deck work, you know, and we get instruction on the heavy machine guns, the Oerlikon, and sometimes the Bofors. While we're at sea, so it's my responsibility to make sure there's safe running of the ship, general deck work, standing guards and working under orders from superior officers.
My name is Lieutenant Smallhorn. I joined the Slough about 12 years ago. While I'm training on Ashling, my duties would entail navigation. That would be my main task. All the equipment on the bridge, you have a Deca, radar, and most importantly, you have your chart and your compass. A course is set to steer the ship from A to B. You set your course on the chart, and for every 15 minutes, you check your position using your radar.
Harbour station, 7 parties, ready close up, traffic control, safe to position jacking.
Section commanders, tell off! Hammer section, President correct. Equipment loader and correct. Section ready to move.
Blackie section, President correct. Equipment loader and correct. Section ready to move.
Support section, President correct. Equipment loader correct. Section ready to move. Conducive, control break, conduce. Please, John. Hey, through, Rose, close. I joined the FCA 13 years ago when I was 17. The idea appealed to me. I always liked the idea of shooting and that type of thing. The outdoor life, camping, and I must say I've enjoyed it ever since. It gives a guy kind of a great opportunity to get away from his ordinary run-of-the-mill job and do something that's a little bit more exciting and creative, really. It's terrific. I love it. Especially the shooting end of things and the comradeship, and the social life is good as well among, especially in our unit among the NCOs. We all know each other and get on very well. I think there's a very good esprit de corps there. I must say I could recommend the the FCA to any young man who wants to get the corners knocked off him, so to speak.
Still gonna get you if you don't do something. Sitting on the fence, that's a dangerous course. You can even catch a bullet from the peacekeepers. Even the hero gets a bullet in the chest. Oh yeah.
I joined the FCA in 1949. There was approximately 600 men in the regiment at that time. As you can see, we are a motor squadron. At present, my position in the unit is troop sergeant. For the purpose of this exercise, I'm acting as section sergeant. The duty of the section sergeant in this case is if we are head up along the road, I will be brought forward by my troop commander who will tell me what he wants me to do. In this particular case, I hear it will be hit up by an enemy section. I will put in a section in attack against that position and clear it.
This is 1-2, army support, over.
Hello, 0, this is 1-2, now in position, over.
In 1941, I joined the LDF for the first time. I was a young lad, 14. Had to say I was 17 for to be taken on. And I served with the same company until 1951, when I heard that there was an artillery regiment out of being formed. So I changed my standards as well, and I joined the artillery. During the emergency, it was mainly middle-aged men 30 to 40. But later on then, when the FCA was started, it was mainly younger men because the war was over. And the older men, I suppose, thought they had enough. And the younger men began to join. Then, when I joined the artillery, it was a completely different, more interesting life than the infantry. And our training was more involved. And with the 21st Mortar Battery, which I am with here, which are here in the background, with many interesting times. The lads were younger now. Mostly lads left school. And they're very good lads. It's very good for them to train here with the FCA, I think. Gives them a standing when they go for employment, and I think it all stands to them. There's no load to carry anyway. A couple of nights training a week, and they're fortnightly a weekly stint here in the Glen of Mall.
I joined the FCA about 2 years ago now with a group of friends. I joined the Artillery Corps, the FCA, in Murphy's Barracks in Cork. I joined mainly because all my family are in the FCA. You know, it goes back a long way, keeping up the tradition. And I suppose I'm very interested in military life, you know, that's probably the main reason, really.
Rounds complete.
Rounds complete, number 1 mortar, sir.
Rounds complete, number 2 mortar, sir.
Rounds complete, number 3 mortar, sir.
Rounds complete, number 4 mortar, sir. Report mortars ready.
1 mortar ready, sir.
Number 2 mortar ready, sir.
3 mortar ready, sir. 4 mortar ready, sir.
In division.
That's all the time we have for you. Just to remind you that Radio 2 is closing down now till 6:30 in the morning. It's Marty Whelan with The Breakfast Show. I'm back tonight at 12, same time, same place.
Night Train with Cagney.
Radio 2 News. Unemployment will continue to rise next year, according to a central bank report. They say unemployment will rise despite an increase in the number of people at work. The bank says gains in other areas will be wiped out by the number
Some
of
gal told me today, boy, you're wasting your life away. She said, it's bad how I spend my time. She said, I'll never make a dime. I told her that I like to sleep late in the morning. I don't like to wear no shoes. I'll make love to women while I'm living. Get drunk on the bottle of booze.
Okay, lads, man, over. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. Get out
No, I can't keep living this way, being broke from day to day. I gotta stop this running around, get a job and settle down. Oh, but I like to sleep late in the morning. I don't like to wear no shoes. I make love to the women while I'm living drunk on a bottle of booze. I know this can't go on. Yes, I should get up and down, or get a job and do it right. Be in bed by 8 each night. Hey, but I like to sleep late in the morning. I don't like to wear no shoes. I make love to the women while I'm living drunk on a bottle of booze. Pick it, David. Fingers to your stuff. I mean, you probably don't. This is really hard. I'm impressed with it. See, that's bass and treble at the same time. Fantastic. How does he do it? Hey, I know that there's a lot waiting for me. Straight as how it should be. I'll be smiling all the time. I get my hair cut and my sneakers shine. Oh, but I like to sleep late in the morning. I don't like to wear no shoes. I'll make love to the women while I'm living drunk on a bottle of Galto.
Number 1 detail, grouping practice. 5 rounds. Range, 200. At your targets in front. Your own time. Fire.
This gentleman is the Enfield number 4 Mark II. You'll be firing it very shortly on the open range. Very, very different than the one you've already fired on the miniature range, and you will have to get detailed training on this rifle before you're allowed to fire it.
There'll be no talking on the range, and you listen to what I say, and nobody else, okay? Except your coach. And we're starting with the first practice at 100 yards, which will be a grouping practice. As you've been told before, it's been explained to you, you'll have a white patch on the target. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Up.
Its main achievement is that it fulfills its role of providing a reserve for the Permanent Defence Force, and it does that and does it well. In a more concrete way, more recently in 1973, when the Permanent Force was very stretched for numbers and occupying new posts along the border and taking on a lot of new commitments, large numbers of the FCA came up on permanent security duty at that time, and thereby released members of the Permanent Defence Force to go on more intensive operational duties. And that certainly was a really concrete achievement that was very much appreciated by the PDF. I think that their biggest achievement at the present time is that the FCA provides a system or a vehicle whereby the young men of the country can be trained in a disciplined, well-oriented fashion. I don't just mean in handling weapons or marching or saluting, but they can be oriented in a correct way at a time when it's terribly important that that should be done, because they thereby do not fall into the clutches of the subversive organisations that are working in the country and who are intent on undermining the institutions of state. And I have a great admiration for the FCA, for the contribution that is. I think it's terribly important, and they give, to a great extent, they give that commitment, they give that time, they give that energy, free, unpaid for, at weekends, at nights, and it is. I think that is the biggest achievement of the FCA at the present time.
Gentlemen, it's been a hard and difficult day. I must congratulate you on a job well done. It was a difficult mission, but it was successfully accomplished. I wouldn't expect anything else from you, knowing how very good you are. There's not much more to do here now except to mount up and return to base.
Mount up, complement!